Hello and welcome. I'm Hiram. I got here a CD4E transmission, and what we're going to do here today, we're going to put this thing back together. We're going to do a basic transmission overhaul, what should be going into basically all overhauls that you do. It's going to take an overhaul kit with here's all of our paper, rubber rings, and seals. The 2-4 servo, I got 3 servos just to show you that there's 3 different types of servo length, the servo pins, and they have ID grooves. I'll show that in a minute. Here's our filter, here's our band, here's our bushing kit, and our frictions with molded pistons. Now there's 2 clutch pistons here because there's 2 different types of transmissions, that early and late. This is the early model, so we're going to concentrate on the early model piston side. Also, we're going to replace our chain. We're going to put a new chain in it. Alright, now that we got our parts overview here, our transmission's already cleaned up, let's go ahead and start with the assembly of this unit. Okay, so the first thing that I would like to do here before we begin, we're going to remove all of our bushings. I'm going to remove 1 bushing and on film here, and then I will replace all of the rest. And then we go to our shop press and start installing all of our bushings. I'm here using my bushing cutter, and like this bushing here, I'm going to do it from the rear here and push it out. Kind of difficult here to try to hold it like this. I usually do it over here close to me. I just want to make sure that you get the shot here. And it's coming. Okay, so here we got 1 bushing out. And always, wherever you were using your bushing cutter, try to resurface this area. You know, with sandpaper or with a little grinding wheel, kind of clean it up, and then put your new bushings on it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the rest of the bushings, and we'll go to the shop press and start pressing some of these bushings in. Okay, so now before we remove any stator support or stator that is bolted up to a case like this, you always want to use a marker and just mark it. In this case, it doesn't really matter because you have 2 bolts here together, and you have a notch here. This little notch is always pointing down, and you cannot misposition it because these 2 bolts are together, and you cannot bolt it in a different direction. Another thing that I would like to do all the time is measure the depth of the bushing, so you can install it right where it's sitting right now. And the reason for that is the length of the shaft. If you see here the turbine shaft, some of the splines will be kind of inside, you know, once this thing is assembled. So you want the bushing to ride on the bushing surface area. So you want to make sure that you measure that. This measured about 500 thousandths of an inch to 600 thousandths. 580, 81, that's what I got here. But that's an average, so you just want to make sure that you average that out and reinstall your turbine shaft bushing on the same depth that you're going to remove it out. Okay, so here we have all of our bushings removed of all of our positions here. Here's our new bushing kit. I already got this case bushing removed as well. On the opposite side, it takes bearings, so we're not going to worry about this bearing. But all of the bushings have been already removed. The one from the drum, the 2 bushings from this drum. Even though this is discolored, the surface area is clean. So we're going to resurface that and reuse that. I already removed this, and this is what I was talking about. If you kind of nicked it, kind of deburr it and fix it, this piece right here takes a bearing, so we're not going to worry about that. I already got the bushing out of here. I've got all the bushings out. And this is very important here, this bushing here, as showed you that this transmission was leaking transmission fluid. And this is the one that comes out on this side, on the bearing side, but the axle actually centers on the bushing. Alright, now that we have our bushings removed, let's go ahead and start installing them. Okay, here on the stator support I already have a bushing here, and I'm just gonna get me an oversized bushing installer, and I'm gonna use my shop press, kind of press it down and start it in there, and then I'm gonna use a different bushing installer to get it to the proper depth. Okay, so we are now flush, but we want to go 500 to 560 thousandths of an inch further into the stator support. So I'm going to lower the shop press a little bit, and then I'm going to use the other bushing installer. Okay, this is the other one I'm going to use to get it further down in there, and we're going to try and measure here how far in are we going to get this thing in. So I'm just going to measure the tool here, and it gives me 460 thousandths of an inch from here to here, and that's going to be kind of close enough just to get it in there. And once we get that far in, we're going to go ahead and you know, remeasure and see where we're at. So here we go. Okay, so that's kind of it looks kind of where it was before. So let's go ahead and measure the diff again. Okay, so we are at 486. We're gonna go 500 thousandths on this one. So we just need to go a little bit further in. Here we go. Okay. Let's see where we're at. I don't know if I got that on the shot. Okay. We're at 579. It was at 560. It's a little bit over, but that's fine. That is perfect. And here we are. If you can see on the very bottom, it's not bottomed out. This is where it was before, so this is where we want it. Now I'm not going to film the installation of all the bushings, but it is very highly important that you install bushings on almost every transmission. I mean, when they are available, there are some bushings that are not available for certain type of units. If your bushing is worn in one of these units, then you have to replace the component if the bushing is not available and that bushing is damaged. I'm going to go ahead and install this one in the case. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use an oversized one like I did over there with that stator support, just to kind of get it a head start. Then I'm going to use the proper size just to get it in place where it needs to go. Okay, so now that we are in there, always lube your bushings. I mean, I do this all the time. I mean, I like to lube all of my bushings. You know, put a little lube in there so that whenever you start the vehicle, you don't start it dry. But there we go. I mean, all the bushings are very important. Just replace them on all. I'm going to replace it all. I mean, as you see here, all the bushings of this thing. I'm not going to go through the filament of it, but I can stress that enough that bushings important and you have to replace them.